the 42 and the 32. That is the nodal polarity today in the nodal polarity series with Raul.
42-32 nodal polarity. This is one of the most difficult nodal polarities, difficult in the sense that it is a polarity that lays a foundation for the potential fulfillment of purpose on a stage where there is always threat and risk, and there is always uncertainty. The 42nd gate is the gate of increase, and it's the gate of growth, and it is part of the abstract format process. In other words, that this is a deep process, a deep sacral process, and it's all about the expansion of resources, which maximizes the development of full potential. So the 42nd gate is a demand for growth. And of course, this demand for growth, leads to dilemmas when obviously one isn't operating correctly. That is, to enter into the right experience, the experience that's going to be fulfilling, the experience that's going to bring development into your life, that in order to do so, you have to be able to know how to make the right decision as yourself. And so without that right decision, this whole drive for growth can end up being very disturbing. In other words, you can end up using massive amounts of energy to enter into a process where you think that growth is going to be the result of that, only to discover that, it's a retrogressive process. And in fact, all it leads to is dilemmas and crisis. On the other side of that, you have the 32nd gate, which is the gate of duration. And the only thing which endures is change. So you can see that here you have a nodal environment in which change and growth are the theme. Now, obviously, if you've got a nodal environment that is rooted in the 32nd gate, that the environment around you is going to be full of uncertainty. In other words, change is always going to be there. More than that, the 32nd gate, which is a gate of continuity, that this gate is always disturbed when continuity is not something that is realizable. In other words, without being able to see the continuity in the process, that the first result of that is that the 32nd gate is out of the splenic center, and the splenic center carries all of our primal fears. That the 32nd gate deals with the fear of failure. And of course, to have this as a nodal environment, it means that you're dealing with, and remember, this is not about describing the 32nd gate as a profile gate. This is the 32nd gate as a nodal gate. And when you see the 32nd gate as a nodal gate, what it's really saying to you is that the people that are going to be there in your life, in other words, if you have this 32nd gate as a node, the people that are going to be there in your life, they are the ones who are going to be constantly dealing with these fears of failure. In other words, that's the environment. The environment is people that are afraid of failure, driven to thinking that growth is the answer. This is the whole process. And it doesn't matter whether you're going from the 42 or the 32 or the 32 to the 42. You're dealing with a fundamentally unstable environment. Growth in and of itself, doesn't mean that in itself is stable. The growth in itself is littered with problems, mistakes, all of the possibilities, of course, that come with growth, because you're entering into something which is new. So this nodal environment, this fear of failure, and the fear of failure if one cannot grow properly, that this is the stage. This is what everybody, the main players in the background of this being's life, these are going to be the dynamic themes that are going to be at work. And you see, when you're looking at the nodes, how important it is to understand that you're seeing the right environment for you. And one of the most interesting things, if you look into the analysis of this in various human beings and their designs, is that one of the most uncomfortable areas for people in their designs are the nodes. Because the environment that the node is bringing, the not self is always going to react negatively to that environment. Why is everybody concerned with failure? Yet, in fact, this is a being whose fulfillment of their purpose is only possible in this environment, only possible in that environment. And obviously, if you're operating correctly and you're fulfilling the potential of your purpose through your profile, this will not be a life in which you will be at a loss, where you will be caught in these fears of failure and all the other things that go with this configuration. It means that you will be in a world where that is a theme, and yet at the same time, you have the potential to operate perfectly within that framework. As a matter of fact, it is that framework that offers you the potential of your own perfection.